Hi everyone, welcome to my journey planning my first yoga retreat. I'm Mariana, I'm a yoga teacher and also a social media manager. I'm specialized in doing social media for yoga retreats, basically working in the wellness and spiritual space, doing marketing for retreats and teachers and creating beautiful content for them. This is my journey planning my first yoga retreat. So I've been teaching yoga since 2017. That's when I did my first training. And soon afterwards, I started teaching. It was not my plan. It was very spontaneous. Just a group of friends was like, oh, now that you are a teacher, you can teach us. And then everything started. So since then, I taught in many, many different places because my life became quite nomadic after that. So I started teaching in Berlin, where I used to live back then in 2017. And after 2019, I started traveling, and then that led me to teach all over the place. But basically, 3 years ago, I moved to Portugal. And since I came here and I've been already working with many other retreats around the world, I was like, I really want to do my first retreat here in Portugal. So I'm in Sesimbra now, where I came to visit this beautiful retreat venue where possibly I'm gonna host a retreat in the summer of 2025. It looks so stunning. Look at this view. I imagine if you're watching this, you are a yoga teacher planning your own retreat, and you probably know how scary it can be, especially with the financial aspect of it. Usually you have to put a very high deposit to rent a whole villa or a whole retreat center, and that it's scary. There's a whole planning aspect of it, maybe hiring cars or transportation, hiring other facilitators to help you. There's a lot of things involved in this, which it's quite a big planning, right? You're planning a big trip for a group of people and you want them to have the best time of their lives, right? So it is a big responsibility, not only for the space, but also you have to plan all the comfort for the group to have like the easiest and most smooth experience possible. So you need to think about every single detail, from the transportations, from the airport to the venue space, to the food, transportation to other locations if you want to take your group around. Every detail matters. That's the first time in my life that I'm financially stable enough that I can actually think about doing something big like that. So I will take you along in this journey with me. And this is the first time I'm visiting this amazing space here in Portugal. So when I was thinking of a venue to hire, I messaged many places. One thing that was really important was that the venue was not too far from the airport. So as I mentioned, I've been teaching yoga all over the place for the past year. So my audience is pretty spread out around the world. And most of them, I believe, are going to be coming from other European countries. So the venue couldn't be too far from the airport. I didn't want them to waste time in this trip, right? So I want something convenient near the airport. So for me, that was a big must when I was like looking at the retreat centers. And this one particular is only like 50 minutes from Lisbon. So you have airport there with many international flights. So very easy to arrange a transportation from there to here. It's an amazing, stunning space. Oh my God, I'm so in love with this villa. I would like to come to this retreat because it's so beautiful here. It's so peaceful. Like, we are surrounded by nature and the sea. So right now I'm looking at the camera, but I can also look at the sea just in front of me and all these trees. And yesterday also sunset in this place. It was breathtaking. Also, another prerequisite was that the space was gorgeous because for me, aesthetics, they matter. So this villa was one of my top options. When I start organizing this trip to visit the place, my initial thought was like, I'm gonna spend the night in this area, check up the villa, and then go to the beach, see all the activities that I can do that. But later on, when I start looking into how to get here, and then I wanted to explore the area to know where I'm gonna take my group and everything, I was like, you know what? I think it's important that I spend the night in the place. So even though this villa was quite over my budget for this 1 day trip, I still decided that I wanted to stay here, and that was going to be an investment on my retreat business basically. So I have to put the business mindset up. This is an investment. I need to be there. I need to experience the place so I can understand how I feel in that space. And if I enjoy, it's like, okay, I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna book this place, and I'm gonna have the full experience, because I also wanna see how people that stay here feel, like every detail from the shower to the light, from the temperature in the living room, like all the details matter. Could have drive from Lisbon to here and then back to Lisbon and stayed with my friend's house, but then I was like, no, I want to plan the activities for the group. Just my first retreat, I want every single detail to be the best possible we can be. So even though this is my first retreat, I collaborated with many other retreats, so I have an idea already how this business works. Usually what I see my friends doing is that they go to the space, they visit, they're like, okay, this is a nice space, they leave, and then they book the retreat. It worked pretty well in all the other retreats that I was, but what I sense is that then they don't have the full experience of the venue. Some little details matter. Like right now I'm here in this yoga shala, and temperature is amazing. It's around 8:30, I guess. I just finished my practice. I could wake up and stroll around, come here, do my meditation, do my journaling, do my practice. And now I know that if I want to bring a group, I know exactly the time that is nice to be inside the shala. Yesterday when I arrived around 3 p.m., I did my check-in, and then the first thing that I wanted to do was come to the dome to see the yoga space, right? If it's a yoga retreat, the yoga space is really important. So at 3 p.m. or like 3:30 or something, it was pretty hot inside the dome. Not a good time to be here, so I cannot plan sessions around this time. So now I have already a vision of how my schedule is gonna go. Later on, I come back around like 5 or something, and it was super nice to be inside here. Now it's in the morning, also super nice, amazing temperature. I'm wearing my jumper, but just because I'm usually cold. But if you're doing a practice and movement, pretty good temperature here at this time. So all these little details you can only grasp when you actually stay in the location that you plan to rent for your retreats. Some retreats that I was communicating before I chose to come here, they were already fully booked for now. They are fully booked for next year. So it might be too difficult to come and be able to stay there for a day or something. But if you know the place that you're going to host your retreat, that's definitely a plus. So another advantage that you get when you're able to stay in the retreat center that you're renting is that you can create a bunch of content. So later on, you will need to market this retreat, right? So the most content you can manage to do while you are in the villa or in the retreat center that you're renting, the better, because you can use to create like inspiring content, and people be like, oh my God, what is this amazing place? And you're like, that's the place that I'm hosting my retreat next year. Wanna come? So, like everything that you do around the space, it can be a conversation starter for your possible students to join your retreat. So when I booked to spend the night, I was like, okay, I need to make this super productive and do some content, record myself, record the space, so I can have all this footage to later on promote the retreat. And even though I wasn't in the mood yet to do any salesy video, like, oh, come here to my retreat and explain the retreat and everything, I was just like, no, I'm just gonna do like nice b-roll and, location shots, so I can later on create some inspiring videos. Now we'll have a meeting with the host of this space, and she's gonna explain me all the details and everything. Obviously, we already exchanged many emails, so I kind of know what already. Otherwise, I wouldn't have come here. Maybe we will see some of the rooms when some guests check out, because obviously now I only have the experience of my own room. As I mentioned before, this place was on the top of my list of all the other retreat spaces that I researched. So I'm very excited about everything, and I can't wait to actually start planning this retreat for sure. And now that I'm here and I know exactly the spaces and what we can do, I can plan my schedule kind of tailored for this place, which is amazing, right? So, yeah, I think that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed. And later on, I'll be talking a little bit more about how to market your retreat. And this is something I already have a lot of experience about because, as I mentioned before, I do social media for other teachers and other retreat spaces. Now it's time to do this for myself. So I'm very excited and I hope I can take you along this journey with me. So if you are anyone interested in hosting retreats in the future, stick around, hit subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, maybe leave a question that I can answer in the next videos. I do plan to do more videos about my journey planning my first retreat. Maybe hope to see you in my retreat next year. Thank you so much for watching.